Welcome to the Boys to Gods podcast, where we help young men become great men while on the way to becoming gods. Yeah, so this is going to be like the first in what I want to call becoming a god. So this is the first in the Becoming a God series. Probably going to do 4 because I got 4 areas I want to cover. Mind, body, money, and relationships. So this first one, we're gonna deal with the mind. Get your motherfucking mind right. And yeah, let me just say this. I cuss a lot. I know this might not be good for some platforms, and I'm probably, gonna get myself flagged or censored or whatever, but maybe I'll put out an edited version. But I'll try to keep it. I'll try to clean it up a little bit, but I gotta be myself. I gotta keep it real. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess it just depends. I know how to behave myself for the most part in public, but anyway, get your mind right. So let me say this. Who are you? How do you see yourself? Do you know who the fuck you are? A lot of times when you get that question, it's kind of hard to answer that. People ask me, what are you? What do you do? And all that. But no, who are you? How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself in this world? How do you see yourself in the world that you live in your family, amongst your friends, in your place of business or in the work you do or whatever? You got to figure that shit out. Figure out who the fuck you are. Now, some of us probably haven't gotten there yet, and that's the case. Then ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Not just as a profession, who do you want to be if you get to the end of your life and you look back on your life, how do you want to see it? What type of man were you? All right? Were you a go-getter, get shit done? What type of things did you accomplish? But let's just say you got to figure out who you want to be. And once you figure out who you want to be, you got to figure out how you become the man to accomplish that. You know what I'm saying? That's the key right there. What do you want in life? Who do you want to be? And who do you have to become to get there? Who do you have to be to get to that point? You're probably not there yet. You're probably not that person yet. So what does it take to get to that point? No matter what it is, something is what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say big, because if I put one thing way up here, then that means that everything else is not as good as that. So we're not going to do that, but something is popular as a professional athlete or successful businessman. We all want to be successful in what we do, but how do you get to that point? I want you to narrow it down though. How do you want people to see you? Not so much as your accomplishments, but just who you are. How are you as a person? Who are you as a person? And we're not going to put so much on other people's opinions, but that'll give you an idea of where you're at right now. People think you're an asshole. You think you're a really nice guy. And let me say this. There's nothing wrong with having a little asshole in you. And there might be something wrong with everybody thinking you're a nice guy. You don't want to be a fucking pushover. Sometimes you got to be an asshole just to get motherfuckers up off you. Please believe me, I exercise that shit all the time. I'd rather be, what's the quote? I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Be yourself. And it's okay to start off here because we're working on ourselves. We're gonna evolve into something else eventually. Hopefully, if you're trying to fucking grow, you're not gonna be the same motherfucker you was, some years ago, right? So always working on yourself, constantly evolving, trying to become the motherfucker you want to be, you're supposed to be. That's what you're trying to do. And you gotta figure out who you are, or more importantly, who you want to be. Knowing who you are will tell you how far you are from who you want to be. So focus on that. Who the fuck do you want to be, man? How do you get there? And here's the thing. If you're a younger guy listening to this, man, it's just the perfect time to start thinking like that. I wish I had the wherewithal to think like that back in the day. I was actually raised by my father. Rest in peace to my pops. I lost him a couple of years ago. And I had a great dad. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I had a great dad. I have a great dad. But he's no longer with us in this life anyway. But, he didn't have all the answers, man. He did the best he could. He didn't have all the answers. And so I there's some things he gave me that were positive and they gave me strength, but then there's some things he didn't give me that hurt me, And so we take those experiences, man, and we go through life, and you're gonna have some victories, you're gonna have some losses. You're gonna have more losses than victories, most of us. But I said all that to say, it don't matter where the fuck you at. You can start right the fuck now. You're young, it's a great time. I'm an older guy. I'm actually in my motherfucking mid-50s. I got the gray hairs all over my fucking face and my head, man. Fucking, I ain't trying to color my hair either. Fuck it. It is what the fuck it is. But I'm an older guy. I've had, plenty of wins, but I've had a shitload of losses. But I've learned from them, and I'm hoping that, I can help somebody else learn from this shit too, man. So, yeah, if you're an older guy like me, if you're maybe 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, fucking 60s, 70s, hell, it don't fucking matter, man. You can start becoming who the fuck you supposed to be right the fuck now. You ain't never too late. It's one thing about being this age, though. A lot of men in my age group, man, especially brothers, man, we're dropping like fucking flies, man. A lot of people just, and I'm gonna touch more on that in the next part of the series about body, dealing with the health and all that shit too, man. But for right now, I don't care how low you are, just start right the fuck now. You can start developing who you're supposed to be. If you're not there, whether you're close or far from it, you start working on becoming that motherfucker right now. Who you are supposed to be. Now, you gotta get disciplined though. Especially if you're older like me, And don't get me wrong, I'm still working on some shit myself. I ain't where I need to be. Actually, I think I am where I need to be. I just ain't where the fuck I really want to be yet, But I'm in the right direction for sure. And I'm hoping as I get there, I can help others get there as well. But you got to get disciplined, man. You got to get your mind right. Master yourself. What does that mean? That means that you got to learn how to overpower or overcome your impulses. The impulses that holds you back. The impulses that, those bad decisions or those habits that we have. The things that fucked up thinking that keeps us from advancing, man. You got to learn how to get past those things. That's going to be the key right there. That's going to be the fucking key. Mastering yourself. Mastering your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Mastering, getting disciplined, man. Doing the shit that you're supposed to do. The shit that's hard for all of us. The people who get to the top, most of them, they get to the top because they master themselves. They learn to do without the things that's not necessary. And they learn to fight for the things that are necessary. The simple things. This is everyday motherfucking fight, man. I forgot who the original quote came from, but one of my favorite motivators, Les Brown, says, and he quoted the guy. I'll probably put that person's name on the clip, but it says, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he says, it's basically saying that life is an everyday fight. And you have to fight for everything you want. And so when you don't fight, I'm fucking it up. Like George Bush. Oh shit. But or how do you put that? Let me just say it the way it's coming out in my head, and I'll fix the shit later. I'll probably have to put the shit in text. But it's like life is an everyday fight. And when you stop fighting the things that you no, let me say it this way. You have to fight for the things that you want. And because if you stop fighting, the things that you don't want creeps in. I think you said the analogy is more or less like it's a garden, and that's probably what he said. And so you have to fight for the things that you want, because when you stop fighting, the things that you don't want takes over. And that's basically what he says. Fight for the things that you want every day. Because when you stop fighting, the things that you don't want takes over. Man, I'm gonna get that quote and say it the right way in the next clip. Or I might just edit it in. But that's the thing, though. Fight for what you want every fucking day. Because when you stop fighting, the shit that you don't want creeps in. So the analogy is like if you're trying to plant a garden, and if you stop tending to that garden, then the weeds take over and kill all your fucking progress. And that's basically it in a nutshell. So I'm still laughing about so fucking this motherfucking quote up. Sound like George Bush. For you young cats, Google George Bush fucking up a quote. You probably can't type it in that way, but you'll find it. You'll find it. But yeah, master yourself, man. Master yourself. Yeah, and that mastery starts in your mind. You got to get your mind right. Get rid of that fucked up thinking. Quit going after shit that's not going to benefit you. And when I say benefit you, I mean help you get to the goals that you're trying to get to. And when I say the goals, I'm talking about personal goals, financial goals, your health goals. The last thing should be relationships. So the order should be your mind. Get your mind right, and get your body right, get your money right, and then you can worry about relationships. When I'm saying relationships, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I mean relationships. So, and I'm gonna get more into that when I get to that part of the series. But let me say this about relationships. You got to develop your people skills. Why? Because you want to gain allies that can help you achieve some of the things that you can't achieve on your own, or who can speed up the process of you gaining some things. Now, you might be able to get to this point, but hooking up with the right person might save you some years, and might save you tons of money in the process. So, to gain allies and to either crush or control your enemies. You're going to have some haters. Haters are one thing. Enemies are a totally different thing than fucking haters, man. Haters is there to remind you that you're doing right. The more haters you get, that means you're doing better. Because the better you do, the more haters you're going to get. But enemies, motherfuckers, who can really put a whole fucking a dent in your shit. They can put a cog in your shit, man. They can fuck your shit up. So you have to learn how to crush your enemies or to control your enemies. And we'll probably touch more on that in the relationship part of the series, man. But developing your people skills is like the last thing, but it's all a part of getting your mind right. Master yourself. So you want to be good at keeping yourself in check. You want to be good at motivating yourself. You want to get good at, making good on your promises to yourself. Saying what you do and doing what you say. You know what I'm saying? And so the allies part, the better you are at controlling your mind and controlling your urges, the better you get at identifying who is an ally, who the fuck is an enemy. You want to get to that point, man. And even enemies can benefit you. Like I say, crush or control. Crush or control. Yeah, in the fucking war, man. Period. No matter what part of this world you in, no matter what, if you in a motherfucking a highly developed country or a not so developed country, you in a fucking war. This whole society, all societies are based on, well, I shouldn't say all of them, but in this time, it's a war, man. A war, either a all-out actual a physical war where motherfuckers are trying to actually kill each other or trying to control each other through force, or society just trying to manipulate you and control you through different means. It's a fucking war, man. Trying to keep all the resources for certain groups and having all the other motherfuckers fight for crumbs. It's a fucking war. So develop your people skills to gain allies and to either control or crush your enemies. I think I'm gonna leave this right here. I might touch on the mind part some more, but let me just kind of go through, just make sure I kind of touched on everything I wanted to do at this time. At this point, I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right here, man. I'll be back with the next part of the series, and if I have some more to say about getting your mind right, shit, I'm gonna come back and do a Get Your Mind Right Part 2 if I have to. But like I say, develop your mind. The idea is to figure out who the fuck you are, who the fuck you want to be, and who do you have to become to be, to become the person you want to be. What are your goals? Who do you have to be to attain those goals? That's what I want you to leave with. So, this is the Boys to Gods podcast, and I'm the big brother Mike, Mr. Mike, if you will. Take care. I'm out.